This is AfriPlus News Channel. Before we begin, kindly like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel for more relevant and important updates. Today's analysis examines a development that has already triggered intense national debate, rising frustration within Ghana's public sector, and deep concern among economic observers across the region. The government's confirmation that procurement has begun for a new presidential jet, alongside a 4-year spending plan estimated at about $13.1 billion for aircraft acquisitions, is raising new questions about timing, priorities, and the moral weight of leadership decisions during economic hardship. What exactly is driving this decision, and what does it reveal about the direction of governance at a crucial point in Ghana's financial recovery? Viewers are encouraged to watch until the end, share their opinions respectfully, and engage with the facts as they unfold. The 2026 budget statement places the projected cost of the aircraft program at roughly $13.1 billion, spread over 4 years, covering 2 new presidential jets and 4 helicopters. Critics have quickly converted that cost into current US dollar terms, bringing the figure to approximately $1.2 billion. Whether or not the conversion is politically motivated, the figure is undeniably large, especially in a period where public trust in state expenditure is already fragile. At a time when citizens are calling for accountability, is such a commitment the most prudent allocation of limited national resources? Could there be alternative ways to strengthen national security and presidential mobility without triggering public outrage?
Ghana plans to spend over $1.2 billion to acquire 4 helicopters and 2 presidential private jets. But is this true? Let me explain. You see, the minority MP Abu Jinapor is calling out the government on this plan.
The government, through the finance minister, also indicates to Parliament how they intend to finance these purchases or these procurements. And if you want to understand how the government intends to go about this procurement, I refer you again to page 136 of the budget statement, specifically paragraph 1092, where the finance minister states, and I quote verbatim, Mr. Speaker, these aircrafts are expected to be delivered in 4 years' time if the procurement processes are completed in 2026.
He points to the 2026 budget, claiming it includes plans to retool the Ghana Air Force with 4 helicopters and 2 presidential jets. A proposal that has not yet been formally presented or debated in Parliament. You see, the government says these aircraft are needed for national security, emergency response, and air mobility. Now, some of these aircraft are going to the Air Force and others are for official government use. The opposition argues spending so much on jets and helicopter is misplaced priorities, especially when nurses and teachers and other public workers are struggling to get paid. Member of Parliament Abu Jinapor further breaks down the alleged acquisition figures, claiming the government plans to allocate 2.6 billion Ghana cedis in 2026, then 3.5 billion Ghana cedis in 2027, another 3.3 billion Ghana cedis in 2028, then finally 3.5 billion Ghana cedis in 2029, making it 4 years purchase plan. Now let me make you understand this better. You see, this acquisition is necessary because Ghana's current fleet is aging and outmoded. Now, recent events like the August 2025 military helicopter crash highlight the risks of relying on older aircraft for national security and emergency response. Upgrading the fleet could prevent future accidents and improve safety. Now here's what most of you don't know. Ghana's presidential jet, a Falcon 900X Easy, has been in service since 2010, making it about 14.8 years old. It was operated by the Ghana Air Force and was recently in maintenance in France from March 2025, undergoing its mandatory 24-month and 1,600-hour inspections. Now during this period, technicians repaired corrosions in the fuel tanks, fixed a fuel leak in the right-hand wing, and addressed issues with panel reinstallations. The jet's return to Accra was delayed several times due to spare part shortages, but it finally arrived back on November 10, 2025, ready for official use. But the minority MPP argues that the old presidential aircraft is in good condition and can be managed. They claim these funds allocated could better be used to support essential service and public sector workers. They also call it questionable and claims committing such huge sums sends wrong signal to citizens facing economic hardships. But here's where it gets wild. President spokesperson Felix Kwachifosu has come out to refute claims of a 1.2 billion aircraft acquisition, calls it a completely false statement.
But Akwesi, the 4 helicopters and the 2 jets, plus the 19 armored personnel carriers and the 2 vessels I'm talking about, all won't amount to $3 million. In fact, I can give you I can give you the price of the 4 helicopters.
Yes.
It is 125.9 million euros. I'm sure it will be around $130 million if you do the conversion.
For the entire, all the things.
For the 4 helicopters.
Not 1.2 billion.
I'm saying that if you add all the things we are buying this year, the 4 helicopters, the 2 jets, the medium and long range jets, the armored personnel carriers, and the vessels.
The vessels.
They won't add up.
The vessels are 2.
They won't add up beyond $300 million. Claim that we have spent $1.2 billion. It's false.
You see, with Ghana's rise as an economic power, strong fiscal discipline, and its role as major champion of African independence, ensuring the safety and reliability of presidential aircraft is increasingly important. So now my question is, should Ghana invest in jets and helicopter, or should this money go to workers struggling to make ends meet? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, and repost this video for more content like this.
This kind of dirty politics just for vote is why we are where we are. The previous government wanted to buy 1 presidential jet and 4 helicopters for the armed forces. The NDC opposed it. They said Ghanaians are hungry. Ghana cannot afford the president. Are we now satisfied? Are we no longer hungry? There's no poverty. They said young people are jobless, so there's no need for Ghana to buy a president. Just last year, they presented the parliament. They fought it and said, no, the young are looking for a job. They don't have jobs. So why do you want to buy a presidential jet? Less than 1 year in your government, now you want to buy presidential jet. Is the hunger in Ghana gone?
They argue that then the economy was not in a position to support the purchase of a jet.
And the economy now is in a position to, when they can't employ nurses, they can't pay 12,000 teachers and nurses. Is that the economy capable?
They just got clearance for 6,100 teachers.
And when you have over 200, almost, they themselves said almost 200,000 nurses and teachers need employment.
They'll be clearing.
The economy can't employ that, but the economy can buy $1.2 billion worth of jet.
But your safety of your president is
that is what I'm saying. That I'm not against it. I'm saying that they are dirty politics. The dirty politics we do around this thing is why we are where we are today. Why will anybody want to complain about buying a jet for armed forces used by the president? Apart from the president, it can be used for so many other purposes. Okay, I remember when COVID broke, one of the most prominent people who got COVID first and died. The presidential jet was flown from here, I think, to Rwanda or Kenya, one of the places that they could get a medicine. But by the time the jet got there, by the time it got back, the person is dead. So presidential jets are used for so many emergency situations, not necessarily because of the president. But we have made the presidential jet as a comfort for the president. So anytime there's talk of presidential jet, there will always be back and forth. This presidential jet we are talking about before ordered it. Have you forgotten what the mills and they did politics and won the elections? But when the jet came, the late General Smith went and commissioned it under mills and they used it.
Before do you even get to use it?
No, but they opposed it big time. The one that Mahama wants to buy, by the time Mahama is out of office.
True.
But because they did dirty politics with it, that's why I'm not against buying presidential jet, because the president of a country is your number 1 person. So the safety of the president must be paramount to everybody. Okay, a presidential jet that went to France for 6 months maintenance. It returned in March 2023. And now we are being told that everything is corroded. It tells you that the aircraft is not something we should be relying on. Because in less than 2 years, after 8 months maintenance, less than 2 years, we say everything is rotting. So it should tell us that we need a presidential jet. So if we take the dirty politics, because there is elections, there's vote, you have to do all kinds of lies just because you want vote. And then when you win less than a year, you said you want to go and buy 2. Your predecessor said they wanted to buy 1. You said no, people are hungry. And now you have come to power. Less than I say you want to buy 2. Why do you think that people should attack you? I am for a presidential jet because I said what they wanted to do is what Kufuor wanted to do. He wanted to buy a bigger one that can carry like over 100 people. But because of the problem, we have to drop 1. When they came, they said they dropped 1 and bought the smaller one that takes just about 20 people.
The economic context around this proposal is heightening the controversy. Reports continue circulating that many nurses, teachers, and public workers are experiencing persistent salary delays, while others claim they have gone months without pay. Even when the government disputes these allegations, the perception of hardship among civil servants remains strong, and perceptions often drive public sentiment more powerfully than official statements.
We are just pleading on the government to pay us. We've been working for 10 good months, no salary. Personally, my rent expired in 15th August. I've not been able to pay. My landlord is always asking, when are you paying? I'll be like, they'll pay us, please give me time. I stay at Spantine, I wake up Kolebu. I take transportation, 42 cities to work every day. How do they expect me to get that money to come to work? You go to work, doctors will write, check patients' vitals, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, do RBS, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You bath patients, you tend patients every 4 hours. I'm doing all this just for the minister to tell me that he appreciates the work that I'm doing. Appreciation, babe, I don't understand. Which form of appreciation? How can somebody work and you tell the person I appreciate you for 10 good months? I can't stand it. I'm owing rent. What should I do to be able to pay my rent? I don't understand. They should pay us. Enough is enough. I'm tired.
In an environment where families are struggling to meet basic needs, how does $1 billion aircraft acquisition appear to the average citizen? Does leadership risk losing moral authority when state spending seems disconnected from the daily realities of those who keep public institutions running? Finance Minister Ato Forson has publicly confirmed that the procurement process for the new presidential jet has already begun, reinforcing that this is not speculation. According to him, Ghana has spent substantial amounts on leasing and chartering private aircraft for presidential travel in the past, suggesting that a permanent solution could reduce long-term costs. The argument centers on efficiency, national pride, and operational reliability. But even if the long-term financial logic is sound, does the timing make it prudent? Should a major capital acquisition be prioritized before economic stability is restored? And would transparency around total historical charter expenses help citizens understand whether this decision is financially justified? Supporters of the acquisition claim that a modern presidential fleet is essential for national security, rapid response, and diplomatic responsibilities. They argue that Ghana's global engagements require reliable transportation, and that delays or last-minute charter arrangements are neither dignified nor secure. Yet critics counter that national security must begin with securing the livelihoods of citizens who deliver essential services. If frontline workers are financially strained, how strong is national security in practical terms? Should a government define prestige through aircraft ownership or through economic stability and reliable public welfare?
Guys, this fast, interesting development coming from Ghana's parliament. Samuel Jinapor is definitely trending, and he seemed not to understand why John Dramani Mahama and Ato Forson will make an allocation of a whooping 13.1 billion just for the purchase of 2 helicopters and 2 presidential jets. How come? Right after the budget presentation by Ato Forson on behalf of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, guys, the minority side of the house were like, hey, hold our beer. The devil indeed is in the detail. Whereas the majority were singing, guys, have a listen. Interestingly, the members of parliament took turns to debate on the budget, and the minority are indeed pointing out all the devil in the detail of this particular budget. Guys, Samuel Jinapor took his turn to express his view and opinion about the 2026 budget. The big story is that Samuel Jinapor, the member of parliament for the people of Damango, questions John Mahama's decision to use a whooping 13.1 billion Ghana cedi to purchase 4 helicopters and 2 presidential jets. Samuel Jinapor insists that this is nothing but a misplaced priority, and in fact, many public sector workers have not been paid. So why do you want to purchase 4 helicopters, including 2 presidential jets, at this time when nurses are demonstrating, when teachers are demonstrating? What's up? What kind of management of the economy is this? What manner of managing the economy is this? Explain to us. Jinapor, during the 2026 budget presentation, insists that His Excellency John Mahama and his government are certainly running away from the core campaign promise made in 2024 for the youth of this country, specifically when it comes to job creation and making our lives better. And now their focus is creating or using more of our resources to now purchase 4 helicopters and 2. Guys, have a listen.
To purchase presidential jets, 1.2 billion Ghana cedis to purchase presidential jets. Mr. Speaker, I'm talking about 1.2 billion United States dollars to purchase presidential debt when you cannot pay nurses, when you cannot pay teachers, when you can.
Indeed, the minority are still debating and pointing out all the discrepancies, all the deception, and exposing the devil in this budget. And indeed, if you are enjoying the debate ongoing, let me know what you think in the comment section. This remains Facts on Facts. Gracias.
Thank you for watching AfriPlus News Channel. Support the channel by joining our membership community and contributing through Super Thanks. Your engagement helps us continue producing in-depth, high-quality analysis across Africa. Disclaimer. This analysis is based solely on publicly available information, official statements, and credible budgetary data. It is intended for educational and informational purposes and does not make allegations against any individual, institution, or government. Viewers are encouraged to conduct additional research and rely on verified sources when forming conclusions.